Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into Beyond the Apex. Great to be back here, coming into the start of season 19 of the Vets. I mean, it is amazing to know that Vets is now coming into its 19th season. Absolutely wild. I don't know if if Mr. Dial would have expected it to go this long, but it has gone this long, and it's fantastic to see. So, season 19 going to be an absolutely massive season, of course. A lot to talk about here today. We'll talk about the calendar coming up for season 19, the provisional pre-qualifying results as well, where people currently sit in terms of where they are split throughout the 150 drivers that will now be allowed to drive. That was the big news coming into season 19. Is that the split sizes would go up from 44 drivers up to 50 drivers per split, allowing for 6 more drivers to come in. So we'll chat about that as well. We'll chat about the calendar for this season as well. It's looking like a really, really good one. I've also got a hold of the Scops qualifying results for tonight's race as well. We'll chat about some other stuff too. We'll see how everyone's feeling, what everyone's been doing over the break between seasons. Of course, round one comes up this Thursday, March 21st, will be round one of season 19. We're going to blink and we're going to be at the 23rd of May at the final round. It's going to absolutely fly by, but it's going to be absolutely fantastic as well to all be a part of. There's also some big news on the Split 2 broadcast front. We will get into that also throughout this morning's show. I'm currently watching the Sebring 12 hour as we do this as well. Matt Campbell is in P2 at the moment, so good to have some Australians out there as well, out at Sebring and doing well. But I'm your host, Hamish Munro, once again, back again here Beyond the Apex. Great to be back. Great to be chatting as well, and great to be getting back into the world of vets. Now, my broadcasting life, pretty much over the last couple of weeks, has been surrounded by SRW, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Been a great time broadcasting SRW so far this season, but it's great to be back, and I'm so looking forward to getting back into vets, chatting with you guys about vets, but also being able to broadcast vets as well, because it is always so fun and it's so great being able to push the narrative of what vets brings us each and every season as well. A couple of comments already out there as well. Woman or Peter Kelleher into the chat already, as well as Gary Buckland. So great to have you guys here. It's going to be absolutely fantastic this season. It's going to be absolutely mega. Of course, season 19. Could possibly be the biggest season that we've ever had. I mean, last season was absolutely epic. Season 18, the battle, especially for Split 2, battle all the way to the end between Poynton and Skulls. That final round was one of my most favourite races I've actually called for the vets. It was unbelievable. So much on offer for us out at Mugello in the final round of Split 2. And it was absolutely fantastic. Split 1, I mean, the championship going down literally to the final hour. Like the Taliancic and Ladder were equal on points coming the end of the championship. Tally just got it thanks to Countback of getting more wins than what Ladder did. So it's absolutely wild. It is absolutely wild of how close Vets is getting in terms of competitiveness between its drivers, and I am all for it. I think it's offering us some absolutely fantastic racing, making it absolutely incredible to call, and it is really it's giving us an absolutely fantastic league to be around, but also a fantastic show as well across all three splits. Now, I watched a little bit less of Split 3 last season because I've been broadcasting on Fridays, so I haven't really had a chance to watch Split 3 as much as what I did in Season 17 and Season 16, for example. But I do know that it was a great championship after speaking to John, and then after speaking to other drivers as well who actually watched Split 3. So, but I'm looking forward to hopefully trying to catch some more Split 3 action this season, especially during the break of when SRW season ends in 2 weeks. But we'll get into it here this morning as well. So we will chat about what we chat about first. We'll chat about the calendar for season 19. Now that's the Scops results that I left up there, but we'll bring up our calendar. So season 19. You will see on there as well, there is a new track on this calendar. Now, all of these tracks we have been to at least once, except for round number 9, which we'll get into that a little bit as well. We spoke about it a little bit last time, actually, on the podcast about that certain track, but we'll run through it first. One thing you will notice as well is on this calendar is we actually now have got, namely, 3 endurance races this season, and only 2 sprint rounds. Everything else is normal 200Ks. Brilliant. So we'll start out with our first of 2 sprint rounds for the season out at Laguna Seca this coming Thursday, 21st of March, round number 1 of season 19, Laguna Seca. It's actually changed from what I initially thought it was, but that's fine. We're going to show you guys what the thumbnail is for Split 2 as well here today if you missed it in the Discord, but it just means I have to change the track. But Laguna Seca, round number 1, 21st of March, 150Ks, 42 laps. Going to be brilliant. It's offered us some great racing before. It can also offer us up a little bit of carnage too, especially through the corkscrew coming up the hill as well. And then even kind of as you come round, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Around turn 6, the fast right as you go up, fast left as you come round to go up the hill, and then as you come over, you come into the corkscrew. So turn 6. You can get a bit of carnage happening there as well. Then Le Mans for round number 2, 250Ks, first of 3 endurance races for the season, 19 laps. Now, 19 laps might not look like a lot. Le Mans is it's a long track. 12Ks, in fact, is how long it is, 28th of March. So that'll be good to see Le Mans back on the calendar as well. I don't know how well it is suited to supercars and having supercars battling happening. And we'll likely see a fair spread of lap times across all the splits. Actually, we'll see a fair spread of the pace discrepancy between drivers as well. But I think it'll be good to see how Le Mans goes with the supercars out there, seeing how they tackle that one. Then round 3, Phillip Island. So for a second season in a row, we go to Phillip Island. We know what Phillip Island was like in season 18, but I think having it slotted in at round 3 is a good shout. I think coming in fresh, or coming back a bit green to Phillip Island, I think maybe hindered us a little bit last season, but I think having it at round 3 will give us an opportunity to have some absolutely fantastic battling. Bruce Picard saying racing was great last time we went there. Well, I'll be excited to see it. This will be the first time I actually call the Vets action out at Le Mans, so I am looking forward to it. I wish we did have the Bugatti circuit for Le Mans on iRacing. I think that would be brilliant for supercars racing. You can almost have a mainstay of that in every single season. But I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. I'm looking forward to having Le Mans. And I think now as well, the racing is a lot better than what it was, for example, at the start of 2023, which I don't believe we actually had. I don't think we had Le Mans at all in 2023. I believe the last time it was in was possibly season 13 or season 12. So I think it'll be good for us. It'll be good, nice little change. Great to have it back in the calendar. And I think, again, it'll offer us up some good battling, good strategy play as well. Strategy is going to be very, very tight around Le Mans because it is such a long circuit. You're not going to be able to get an extra lap out of the car unless you've been fuel saving for the majority of the race. So the strategy is going to be incredibly tight. Now, I can see people making the mistake of missing out on coming in the pits and then running out of fuel at some point across the lap. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's all going to play out and who's going to reap the benefits of that. So I think Le Mans will give us some good racing, though, nonetheless. Phillip Island, as I said, 200Ks, regular round, 45 laps. You know, it's a golden child of supercars racing is Phillip Island, and I think it's going to offer us up some absolutely fantastic racing. And again, I think slotting in at round 3 is going to be a good opportunity for us. For the drivers, number 1, to kind of just cool the jets, calm down a little bit, and get back into the rhythm of things, get back into the groove. And I think round 3, they will really shine out at that track as well. Watkins Glen for round 4, so with the boot layout as well. I can't even remember the last time I went to Watkins. It was last year, I believe, unless it was this past season as well. And I'm just absolutely murked. But Watkins provides some great racing. It's a phenomenal track. Bruce Scott saying, personally, I'm so over Phillip Island. Yeah, I think having it in, what is it now? Is this 2 seasons in a row or 3 seasons in a row we've had Phillip Island? Likely need an update, I will say. But Phillip Island, this is in line with... Oh, it's not even in line with Scops. Oh, I just realised it's not even in line with Scops. Because Phillip Island's this weekend for Scops. Interesting. Yeah, I think Phillip Island, it's a great track. I love Phillip Island, but we do need some. Like, I think we just need to accept at some point that it may actually be a better season to have without an Australian track on it. Even though we have 5 Australian tracks, we don't go racing on one of them, so we're limited to 4, and that rotation can get boring pretty quickly. So it's I think Phillip Island offers up a good challenge. I think get it out of the way early, or you have it right at the very end of the season. Yeah, same layout. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, so Watkins boot layout, great circuit, offers some really good racing in supercars, and I think again we could see some carnage happening around that track, especially throughout the bus stop or even up the hill as well. Sebring equals E series. Yes, yeah. I don't know why, but I thought that I guess it was the initial calendar that I saw when I actually made the thumbnail, which has Sebring on it. I suppose that it wasn't set in stone, obviously, so that would be why. But it is actually obviously big racing week this week for Sebring. The 12 hours today. It's been on since last night. There's about an hour and a half left. Matt Campbell's about 5 seconds off the back of Sebastian Bourdais for the lead in GTP. And then next weekend is the iRacing official Sebring 12 hour. So E-Series has PI in week 5. Oh, okay, I see. I got ya. So yeah, so Watkins round 4, second round in April, 300 Ks, big boy race. 55 laps, gonna be strategy efficient. That's why where it is. Oh, okay, fair enough. Very good. But yeah, Watkins 300 Ks, 55 laps. Going to be great to have Watkins back on the calendar once again. Again, offers up some great racing, and we're really getting into the meat and potatoes of what is a good track that you can go racing around in a supercar, and I think Watkins is one of them. Silverstone in round 5. I don't know how I feel about having the modern Silverstone layout. The historic layout last time offered us some fantastic racing. Now, and this is not a bash at anyone, but when I called the SRW Supercars action out at Silverstone a couple of weeks ago, both for the Pro-Am and amateurs, and then also for the pros and Pro-Ams. And Silverstone did not offer up particularly anything highlight worthy at it. There was a couple of incidents, but just nothing really to sink your teeth into. But I think it's Silverstone's one of those tracks that it is a 50-50. You're either going to get some really great racing and the possibility of safety cars, or you're going to get a little bit of follow the leader. But I think that's just the nature of the track. I don't think it comes down to the car-track combination. I think Silverstone is just an incredibly difficult track to have racing around. But I guess that's where the challenge lies. 200 Ks, 34 laps. It will be a challenge for certain drivers. Qualifying will be absolutely key. Keeping your race will be absolutely clean will be absolutely key as well, I think. If you can qualify well at Silverstone, you are already within a great chance, because it is so hard to pass around Silverstone. And if you can mitigate your mistakes alongside that as well, you're going to be on for a good finish. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I loved having the historic layout last time. I think that is actually the superior layout of Silverstone. I don't know why they ever changed it. But yeah, it should still offer us some somewhat good racing. Hopefully some good battles as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it is not a repeat as the last Supercars races that I called there. Next up, we go to the Red Bull Ring for round number 6, my favourite F1 track on their calendar. And last time we were here, there was a little bit of controversy out there. We won't go into it. But the racing was epic. The racing was great around Red Bull. You can get some really, really good battles happening around Red Bull. It is a challenging circuit for sure. You can get moves done, chopping and changing position. Bruce McLeod saying national circuit is the GOAT. And then Bruce McLeod is saying as well, Phillip Island's not coming back in 2024. Well, I think that's fair, because we've had it 2 seasons in a row. Might be 3 seasons in a row, actually. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was in season 17. My brain's gone. But yeah, Red Bull Ring going to offer us some great racing. Good to see a lot more 200k races on the calendar, not just the 150s. And that extra Enduro in there as well is really, really good to see too. So yeah, so Red Bull offers some great racing. Fantastic track. One of my favorites. I think it is heavily underrated for what it is. And whenever I see a race there, there's something that always happens. And it's so great to call. Then we go to round 7, Sonoma. So 2 seasons in a row we go to Sonoma, but this time we run what I think is actually the superior layout to what we ran last time, the NASCAR long circuit or the Cup circuit, the modern Cup circuit of Sonoma. The difference between this one and the one that we ran last time is, I'll get my hand up on screen so you guys see it. So when we raced last time, you'd come down and you'd actually cut out the turn 4. You'd keep going, and then you'd just do it. It basically cuts out the infield section. You can kind of see on the layout there, there's like a little infield section that it has. I think Sonoma, it is a track that you can get some follow the leader, but I know the vets are willing to go for moves, and I know they're willing to go for dives. Saying same layout as last season. Well, on this graphic here, Bruce, it has the more modern layout. Where is it here? Let me. Is that is a different layout. That's a different layout, Bruce, to last time. That right there is the modern Cup layout. As the modern Cup layout, which I do think is better than the one we ran last time. Reese to go saying, morning all, great to have you here. Reese, congratulations on your run. Snow Raceway Cup Historic. Well, this one says NASCAR long, but if we're running Cup Historic, then that's fine. That'll be what we had last time. That is what it is. Okay, all right. Well, that means then that Reg James has made a mistake when making the graphics for the season, for the calendar. He's put on the modern one. But if it's the historic one, it gave us some good battles last time for the historic one. I do think the modern Cup one is the superior layout for battling, but I do think the historic one gave us some good racing nonetheless, and also gave us some great battles too. So, no, that's fair. That's totally fair, Bruce. I mean, I'm going off the information that I was given, and then you're the one, obviously, that has the info on there as well. So I trust that. I trust your info. I trust your info on that one, obviously. So, Cup Historic, it's a good circuit. I do think the modern is better, but I think that it will still give us some good racing anyway, especially being a little bit later in the season, only being a sprint round 2. It gave us an epic battle at the front of the field last season. It was situated in a very similar position in the order of the championship. And I think that's where it really shines, as being a little bit later, because you are forcing drivers to make decisions and hard decisions and make moves to make up positions if they've lost out or if they're a bit further behind their championship rivals. So I think that is a really, really smart play. Then we go to Suzuka for round number 8. A track we did not go to in 2023. And I'm excited. I'm excited for Suzuka. I think Suzuka could be race of the season. I think it could really offer us up some fantastic racing. And I think it is going to test the drivers, number one. It is a fantastic track. I think it has a great layout to it. We're running the GP layout. I think this is really going to test the drivers, but I think it's going to be absolutely great. Regular running of 200Ks, 35 laps. Put your cash in the bank. It's going to be a fantastic race, in my opinion. Round number 9, we then get to the new track. So this was the one that had the question marks around it. What track would we choose, or would be chosen, I should say. And between Misano and Algarve, they've gone for Algarve. And I am super excited to have Portimao on a Supercars calendar for the first time. This is going to be fantastic. Algarve, brilliant track. Graphic is actually right. Sonoma Raceway Cup Historic equals Sonoma Raceway NASCAR long. Well, then why does it have the modern layout on the track map? Oh, they renamed it. Okay, but why have they... Why is the infield on there then? I don't understand. I'm confused why the infield's on there. Because we didn't run the infield last time. We ran the outer layout. Match IRL, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, why is the why is the more modern version of the layout on the actual graphic when it comes to the actual track map? I'm confused as to why that's happened. But yeah, Algarve, we went through the lap preview last time. I submitted it with the old name, fair enough. We went through a lap around there last time, checked out what it's going to be like for drivers around Algarve. I think it's going to be banging. Absolutely banging. 250Ks, our final enduro of the season, 55 laps. Going to be fantastic. It's going to be brilliant. And then round 10 for a third season in a row, we go to Jerez for the moto layout. If Bruce is sick of Phillip Island, I'm sick of Jerez at this point. It's offered us up some fairly good racing, but I think we need a break from Jerez after this season. I really do. Bruce goes in the final turn in Portimao looks challenging. Oh, it is. It is. So it will be the same regardless. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you for letting me know that, Bruce. Appreciate it. So yeah, Jerez. It will offer us some good racing, I think. Final round. It's offered us some chaos in the past, and again, I think it being situated in the final round, it'll mean that the drivers will have to push. Technically, second time for that layout again. Blame other leagues. Well, I mean, maybe we make an exception for a final round. Put Misano in there. Misano would have been great. Also, I want to see if we can get this over the line for season 20 to be a double length season. I'm just putting that out there. Season 20, you have one round from every previous season, plus the newest track for season 3 of iRacing, which will probably be Pukekohe. Yeah, that's true. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, I can, but yeah, Jerez. You know, it's a good track. Like, it's okay. It's provided us again. Both our last two races there have been kind of chalk and cheese with like what it brought us. The first one gave us a bit of carnage, but some fairly good racing. Second one gave us a little bit more carnage and some great racing. But again, 3 seasons in a row now we've gone to this track. I think we need to stay out of Spain for the rest of 2024, unless we get Navarra and we go to Navarra, or if we're going to do a longer race around. I can't think what the track's called. I only went there the other week as well for another series. It's not Lebanon, it's the other one. I can't remember what it's called now. Aragon. Or if we go to Aragon for an enduro, but even then, I don't know if Aragon's actually going to give us some good racing or not, being it's a GP style circuit, like a MotoGP. Season 4, 12 weeks is Jerez confirmed. Well, we can only have it 3 times technically by my standards, Bruce, because we've only had it 3 times. So, did you say the calendar's already been submitted for season 20? Because, you're saying calendar submitted season 4, 12 weeks of Jerez confirmed. So yeah, I mean, and maybe we can speak about this at other times, Bruce. But line up. So the calendar for season 3 is 10 races from the first 10 seasons of, or 9 races, sorry, from the first 10 seasons of Vets, plus also the newest track for season 3, and then season 4 we have the rest of the seasons, 10 of them. Oh, unfortunate. Maybe we should have lined that up at the start or before the end of last season. Oh, you know why I reckon they've done that? Gen 3's coming out. That's why I reckon. That is why I reckon they needed it ASAP, because Gen 3's coming. And they wanted its calendar as soon as possible. I reckon that's what that was. So yeah, so that is our calendar for the season. We're just getting off on a whole other segue at this point. Laguna Seca, Lemoore, Phillip Island, Watkins Glen, Silverstone, Red Bull Ring, Sonoma, Suzuka, Algarve, and Jerez. No, it is all series, not just B. It's Got ya. I mean, we're just making. I'm just making assumptions, to be fair, that it could be Gen 3. But I do have a heavy belief that Gen 3 is coming next season. Roy Clark saying we should go back to Coda at night, not since season 1. Oh, you choose death, do you, Mr. Crash Clark? Bruce saying, but you are right, that means something's coming. And that's what I thought. Like, that's why I think that because they needed the calendar so soon, they want to get it sorted whilst they're figuring stuff out. WKMP saying, kind of stuck with officials, which tied to Scops and Pro. Officials is what the driver group asked for. Means our Pro and Scops drivers are not learning 3 tracks a week. No, that's fair. That's fair. My opinion, no, it isn't. It will be season 4. Quite possibly. It could be season 4. My thought is, what else could they bring out before then? That's my only thought that I have. I know they recently announced the TCR deal where they now have got the official TCR series and they're getting more of them, but they haven't actually scanned them yet. So they can't have TCRs just yet. Yeah, it could be LMDH. It could be maybe a GTP as well. But yeah, based on their development times, they scanned them in December. They finished scanning them in December. So that's true if the GT3 is a priority. But again, they scan the GT3s after they scan the supercar. DK iRacing will just run Legends. That's basically just Aussie racing cars. Yeah, they scanned the Vet the Mustang and the Macca at Daytona, which was in January. They scanned the supercars in December. It was when they finished scanning them and finished and finalized them. Plus, they're going to be able to get Pukekohe out there as well. Do racing, yes. From Gary Buckland. But yeah, that is our calendar for this season. That is how they currently lie. That is how they currently stand. That is where we will be going racing as of this week, this coming Thursday, 21st of March, Laguna Seca round number 1. Rounding it all out, round number 10, 23rd of May at Jerez. It is going to be fantastic. Scotty Gamble in the chat with Tempest now live. Does this mean we can have different times of days, night races, cloud cover, etc., and still be within Vet's track temp threshold of 20 degrees? I can't answer that. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't set up the sessions. I'm not sure. That would be cool. Have some different kind of weather patterns for the threshold. I suppose there's some experimentation could be done, for sure. You know, that could definitely be the case. But that could be really cool, really interesting as well. Yeah, temperatures, side effects. So, I suppose. But that is our calendar for season 19. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, locked weather. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the calendar. Let me know what you... let me know what track you're looking forward to the most. It's easy for me to say, but I'm looking forward to Algarve. I'm also looking forward to Red Bull Ring as well. So it is going to be very, very exciting for season 19. A massive season to come up for us, for the vets, and they're just going to offer us some absolutely fantastic racing once again, and it's going to be great, great, great to see. So what we will now get into as well is a little bit of news. a little bit of news, just a little sprinkling of news for everyone at home who may not be aware of this as of yet. I have mentioned it previously in the public forum, not necessarily in the Discord, but I have mentioned it in a public space. But in case you have missed it, a couple of people do know about it. But we'll start with, first of all, this is our Split 2 thumbnail for next season. So when you're looking for a Split 2 broadcast for the Vets, this is the one you want to be looking for Split 2. Now, the track's wrong because this was based off the initial calendar that we had. It's obviously now changed. It'll be changed to Laguna Seca. So that is our Season 19 Split 2 thumbnail. Slightly different. A little bit of a restructure around it. Still have the supercar silhouettes. See if you can guess what team those cars are from, and you may win a lollipop if you're correct. Went for the Roman numerals this time. XIX, Season 19. Gonna be really good. So that's one you want to be looking for when you're looking for the live broadcast, or if you're watching a post-broadcast, you're looking for the one with the orange thumbnail. That's the one you'll be looking for as well. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting season. So there's news that we have in place here for the Split 2 broadcast. Now, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still doing Split 2, but there has been a restructure in terms of the broadcast booth. The broadcast booth is now moving to a 2-man team over in Split 2 land. So instead of it just being me and the chat backing me up, there will now be a second person in the broadcast booth with me for Split 2. This person, well, we won't just reveal it straight away. We'll run through some clues and we'll see if anyone can pick up on who it might be. So this person is a former Split 1 champion of the V8 Vets. This person has competed in the Logitech G Pro Series. He has competed in V8 Scops. He is a male as well. This person is one of the quickest drivers we've ever seen in the Vets. One of the most talented drivers we've seen in the Vets. This person is based in Victoria of Australia. So they are an Australian. I don't think what else is another clue that doesn't necessarily give it away just yet. This person has got broadcasting experience. Somewhat broadcasting experience. This person is not Michael Talianchich or Ken Latta. Reese DeGoey has pipped it straight away in the chat. It is Scotty Gamble. Mr. Gamble, who I made the comparison that he is a little bit like a Mark Scaife, is now going full Mark Scaife and coming into the Compass Box with me as a co-host. But I am super happy to have Scotty coming in. Going to be fantastic to have him give that real expert insight into the driving, what it's like to be a driver in Vets from a first-hand experience, and just giving us a whole new style of presentation for Split 2. So I'm super excited for it. It's going to be a fantastic. It's going to be a change that not necessarily was necessary, but it's a welcome one. It's going to be a change that is going to help push it into new depths, into new heights, and again, give us a few more meat and potatoes to chew on throughout the season. So it is going to be a fantastic season ahead with Scotty alongside me. Reese, you get a lollipop, you get a shout out on the Split 2 broadcast. You get a little bit of everything. That's what it will be, Reese. We'll see. If you can go 3 races in a row without crashing the car, for what I was saying, it's going to be Laurel and Hardy boys. Yeah, Reese, if you can not crash your car three races in a row, I will send you a lollipop in the mail. I'll send you a chop. How about that? How's that for fair? But yeah, Scotty Gamble in the booth with me. Saturday nights, 8:30 Victorian time. Obviously, the changeover will go from Australian Eastern Daylight to Australian Eastern Standard. It's easier at this point in time before we change over to just say 8:30 Vic time. During daylight savings, take off 3 hours for WA, take off 2 hours in regular time for WA. Queensland take off an hour currently. When we get out of daylight savings, it's the exact same time. Brilliant race. Great to have you on the deal. 8 life goals it is, Simon. Getting a lollipop. Scotty Gamble saying, look forward to joining you, mate, and watching calling split two drivers going for it. Mate, it's going to be brilliant. If we can get if we can even just get 50% of how good the racing was last season, it's going to be fantastic for season 19. So, and with that calendar as well, going to be brilliant. It is going to be brilliant to have that all on hand for split two. Going to be great to have Scotty in there, again, giving his insights. It's going to be fantastic to have Scotty along for the journey. We'll get back in, though, to our mini-cam just for a second here, because I do just want to quickly run through the Scops pre-qualifying results for this weekend prior to getting into the Season 19 pre-qualifying provisional results for the vets. So you see a couple of vets are in here already for Scops this weekend out at Phillip Island. If I can see some of our bigger names that are in there, Michael Teliancic, P18 at the moment in Split 1. Who else in there? Ken Ladders in Split 1 at the moment. Scotty Gamble's previously mentioned. Will be competing in Split 1 here tonight. For Scops, if we look at Split 2, who have we got in there? David Coleman, resident race controller, is competing out there at Phillip Island as well. Michael Stewart too. Good to see he'll be out there. Blake Delaney as well. Troy Stone Street. He's been having a great season in the Supercars over at SRW. Been having a great run. Michael Whiting, who'll be new to vets this upcoming season. He's in Split 2 tonight. David Kirby's in Split 2 tonight as well. I might miss some people. Matt Scholes is in there as well in Split 2, currently qualified. Damien Cairns. So it'll be really, really good to see. A couple of people who have missed out. Robert Crisdale, who we know is in vets. Who else in there as well? Chris Blanchard. Mark Poynton. Disappointing, Mr. Poynton. You should be doing better than that. If Scholes is in, you should be in. Damien Cross. Jamie McKnight. Rick Sibra. Quite surprising that Sibra didn't make it. So, yeah. They are the Scops results for pre-qualifying. And that is who will line up tonight for Scops. If you don't want to watch Scops, but you still want to watch some Supercars action, come and check me out on SRW TV. Warren Brown Tools vs Supercars Pro-Am action out at Mategi tonight. I tell you what, the racing that we had there earlier in the week, oh my God, it was phenomenal. Wait, are we at Mategi? No, it's not even Mategi tonight. I need to double check. My brain, it's Hockenheim. It's Hockenheim tonight. Wow. My brain is just gone. So yeah, Warren Brown Tools vs Supercars Pro-Am action, Hockenheim, round number 7 in the championship. Darren Lobb's been absolutely dominant this season. As you may or may not have seen in vets previously, but yeah, he has won at least one race every single round of the season. He's pretty much trying to lock up that championship at this stage. So yeah, it should be some good action out there tonight. I believe I'll be having Mr. Sinkovic back as the co-host if he's actually sorted out his internet. I need to double check with him. Oliver Hardy moment right there, Hamish. Oh, thanks for that, William. I was a big fan of another group of brothers called the Hardys, but not from that sort of era. If anyone's a wrestling fan, they'll know who I'm talking about. But our Season 19 pre-qualifying results, we will run from the bottom of the list all the way to the top. If you guys want to know the provisional pre-qualifying results, the link is in the Discord in pre-qualifying. You scroll up a little bit, you'll find a docs link that has a Google Sheet, and it currently has the pre-qualifying results, which were last updated Saturday, March 16, 11:50 a.m. So I'm calling this the provisional results at this stage in time. A couple of drivers did not actually set pre-qualifying times either at all, or they only set them at one track. Those being Michael Schreier, Fletcher Christian, Sean Slater, Simon Clapham, James Baldwin, Chad Viger, Reg James, Matty Parker, Mark Howard, Matthew Beale, Jeff Richardson, Neil Waters, Tim Verme, Mark Rudd. Tim Verme, Mark Rudd currently not in the spread to actually get into Season 19. So, from bottom to top, as we currently stand, we're starting with Split 3, making our way up to Split 1. So, get comfy, get your coffee ready to go. Here we go. For Split 3, we go. Neil Waters, Jeff Richardson, Matt Beal, Mark Howard, Matty Parker, Reg James, Chad Viger, James Boardman, Simon Clapham, Sean Slater, Fletcher Christian, Michael Schreier. All of those drivers did not set at least one pre-qualifying time. So they have set one, but they have not set another. So they've either missed one or they haven't set any. And that is why they are so low in the rankings. Whether they'll be allowed to compete in that split, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I know that James Boardman, firsthand, possibly won't be racing because he's been having to deal with some life stuff at the moment. So James may not be racing. We'll have to wait and see. But that's from 50 down up to 39. We'll then make our way up the rest of the order. Everyone at this point, past this point, has set at least 2 lap times and has got a combined time. So P38, the Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant. They're not actually irrelevant. It's just a joke there. Anita Buckland in 38th. Darren Vermey, 37. Roger Longridge. Fantastic name, Roger. Brilliant name. Robert Baxter. Greg Shelton. Joseph Granshaw. Philip Marsh. Craig Rose. Dave Galley. John Lee. John Van Ree. Carl Pickering. Dave Baldock. Michael Koroloff. Mark Dial, James Cormick, Justin Wood, Darren Walden, Matt McMillan, Aidan Rice, John Fillingham, Shane Patterson, Andrew Johnston, Jeff Sanford, Ross Watson, Jeremy Bush, Marty Hughes, Darren Friend, Sean Vandermeulen, Brian Minogue, Brett Taylor, Andrew Rushworth, Michael Yeo, Jason Dunn, Nick Hausler, Ed Cullen, Michael Hayes, and Richard Barella rounds out split 3. Brett Taylor actually has had a fantastic run in SRW previously. He's had 3 podiums in a row in the amateur class. So big ups to Brett Taylor. Big shout out to him as well. Mark saying, is pre-qual still open tonight? I don't know, actually. Bruce, okay, have you got an answer to that one? Or John, if you're there. If their session's still up, then it's still going, and you just need to set a time at Phillip Island. Well, there you go, Mark. Go and set a time at Phillip Island. To those drivers who have not set a time, go set a time at the track you have not set times at tonight. This is your last opportunity, pretty much. No, but this is provisional, of course. Certain changes get made after this point. Certain shufflings get happened because drivers think they maybe do better in the split below. Reshuffle happens. Some people are just unavailable. Stuff happens, but this is all provisional. So that is split 3. Split 2, how the drivers are currently seated in pre-qualifying. Now, there are a couple of automatic promotions into Split 2. Peter Baxter, Mick Clifton, and Reese DeGoey all get automatic entry into Split 2, but they were also welcome to do their pre-qualifying to try and get into Split 1. But they are at least in Split 2. Also, the drivers who were the rest of the 10 at the end of last season, so from P4 down to P13, I believe it was P13, are also in Split 2 as well. At least they should be, unless they've pre-qualified to get up into Split 1. But they cannot drop out of Split 2, based on the information that we received last season. Mark saying, sweet, because I thought I'd posted a time for PI, but clearly I did it in the wrong lobby. Was a PB2, so I'm spewing. Hey, Mark, you know what? It means you get to prove yourself out there again now and just recreate the magic. That's all you got to do is recreate the magic, mate. That's all you got to do. So, Split 2 at the moment. From P50 up to P1. From 100 to 51. Here we go. We've got Wayne Shepherd, Brett Fisher, Peter Kelleher, Glenn Corbett, Dave Arney, Robert Crow, Reese DeGoey, Craig Healy, Scott Weston, Mick Clifton, Roy Clark, Daniel Sheriffs, Andrew Galley, Scott Perrins, Halil Caesar, Will Munro, Russell Gander, Brendan Satira, Daniel Norris, Sean Cullen, Jamie Peters, Adrian Zeal, making the jump up to Split 2, Michael Power, Peter Vermey, Trent Bennett, Matthew Stoyles, Mark Peck, Peter Baxter, Troy Sipple, Marty Hansen, Ed Fox, Todd Martin, Matt Monday, Mark Houghton, Jason DiBattito, John Gallen, Stacey Boyd, the American coming in and just showing everyone up. Lorne McKee, Gary Buckland, Simon Heddersheed, Scott McKay, Shane Randall, or Mackay possibly, Stephen Greck, Darren Crosby, Peter Latham, Mario Reale, Todd Duggan, Steve Lanyon, Luke Grundell, and Andrew Hoffman is the current running of things. Obviously, there are a couple of drivers that had the automatic situated in Split 2, about 13 of them. Some of them have actually pre-qualified to go up into Split 1. And we'll get into those names right now. So Split 1. Obviously, the top 20 drivers as well as the top 3 from Split 2 automatically promoted. So there are 23 drivers automatically in Split 1. The rest of them had to pre-qualify. How they currently sit before the end of pre-qualifying: P50, Jim Caparonis. Then it's Tim Nicol, Stephen Kennedy, Damon Fisher, Robert Griffiths, Michael Quain, Scott McCune, Jason Fewens, Jason Spriggs, Damien Cross, Steve Grumley, Rick Viger, Ricky Hyde, Stuart Hall, Craig Friend, Scotty Van Loon, Bruce Tannock, Stephen Varga, David Nash, Dean Flavell, Greg Sharp, Chris Miller, Brenton Nietzsche, John Latham, Paul Warwick, Blake Delaney, and Michael Whiting are the pre-qualifiers, and then obviously the top 23 that are allowed to stay in or have come up from Split 2. Damien Cairns, Jamie McKnight, Darren Lobb, Robert Crisdale, Darren Goosey, Paul Burns, Brenton O'Brien, Christopher Blanchard, Mark Poynton, Travis Hunt, Troy Stonestreet, Chad Lewis, Daniel Hall, David Kirby, Rick Sibra, Michael Stewart, Matt Vanderkran, Matthew Scholes, Christian Smart, Jeff Thomas, Scott Gamble, Kenneth Latta, and Michael Taliancic. Those are our splits at the moment. They are all provisional. They can change on a dime. So if you're not quite happy with your pre-qual times, you get an opportunity to change that tonight and have a crack. Because I believe, if John is still in the chat, that tonight is actually the last night of pre-qualifying, if I'm correct. So if you haven't set a time and you need to set a time, get out on track. Mosport Phillip Island. It's looking like at the moment, if you're trying to at least get into Split 2 from those drivers who've not actually set a time, for Split 2 you are going to need at least 2 minutes and 46 at this stage, which means you're going to need at least a 129 around Phillip Island and at least a 117 or 16 for Mosport. So get out and cut some laps, get up to speed, and get ready, because season 19 is going to be an absolute banger of a season. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be fantastic to be back as well. I think, we obviously be speaking about calendar, speaking about Scotty coming in. Peter Geller saying Split 3 will be nice, as I feel a championship podium finish could be on the way. We'll have to wait and see, Pete. We'll have to wait and see. See what happens. So, but yeah, good season coming up ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We are only one season away from the 20th anniversary of Vets, for the 20th season. You know what? We're going to feel like Vets has been going on for ages, or at least I'm going to, when it surpasses the amount of seasons it has by how old I am. So once it hits season, I'll be 26 by the end of the year, and we'll be at season 21. So when it hits season 28, we'll call it, once it's past my age, in a couple of years' time, that's when it'll be like, Vets has been around for ages. But yeah, season 20. Before you know it, we'll be at season 25. Simon Hayes saying, woohoo, season 20. Hopefully I'll make the cut. We'll have to wait and see. Simon, how you doing pre-qual for season 20? But season 19 is going to be a big one. Get into the Beyond the Apex channel on the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. It's just above the You Can't Park There one. And if you haven't checked out You Can't Park There, Scotty Rankin and Simon Mazzomo's podcast, check that out as well. They've had some great chats with a lot of great guests over the last, over their whole season pretty much so far. Speaking of guests, I will be joined by a special guest on my next episode of Beyond the Apex in 2 weeks. March 31st will be when the next episode happens, on a Sunday morning. The special guest that I'll be having on that show will be Logitech G Pro driver and good friend, or becoming a good friend of mine at this stage, Connor Nixon. So to give you a little bit of preview on Connor and why I'm having him on, number one, he asked if he could be on the show, and I said yes. Number two, Connor is actually in a wheelchair and actually still sim races in a wheelchair. Now, he has got usage of his legs, but they are not. They're not obviously the best. But I'll get into that with him when we chat about it on the podcast and talk about anything else that is sim racing related, real racing related, or just life related as well. So very, very excited to have Connor on the show in a couple of weeks' time. It'd be really, really good to have him on here. He's incredibly excited. He's constantly asking me, is it the 31st yet? And it's like, well, it's not. But it's going to be great to have Connor on here, talking to him. And I'll explain the reasoning when I have him on as to why I thought it was actually important to have Connor on here, especially since it started out as a Vets podcast and is still a Vets podcast, but we also talk about iRacing stuff as well. And I think he will give us some good insight as to the way certain drivers can go about things, but also how challenging it might be for other drivers as well to keep things in the back of your head when you're making comments about certain things or when you're coming up with certain ideas as well. It can help kind of reflect on that. But it's been great to have you all here today, here this morning. I'm going to go and watch the final hour of the Sebring 12 hour. I really, really appreciate your time. It's been absolutely fantastic to run through the calendar with everyone here this morning, run through the current provisional pre-qualifying results. Obviously, there's still tonight to go for pre-qualifying, so if you haven't set a lap time or if you want to improve those lap times, you better get out on track. It's been fantastic. I look forward to season 19. Unfortunately, I will not get a first-hand viewing this Thursday night. I'll be at Knotfest, so my dad will be getting the replay for me. But I look forward to calling the action this upcoming Saturday with Scotty Gamble in the green room, in the booth for the first time. It's going to be a massive season ahead. Thank you for joining me once again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a couple of ad rollouts on the end of the stream here today. Obviously, our two racecraft ads that we normally run during the safety car period of the races, and then obviously the big long one. So please stick around for that. Watch to the end of the stream. Watch time will help us grow up the channel, grow up the videos, and help get a lot more people eyes on the Vets as well. If you haven't already as well, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe icon as well, and hit the bell, but so you are notified anytime we go live with our content across Split 3, Split 2, and the Beyond the Apex podcast as well. We'll be back for Vets this Thursday. SimSpeed will be happening for Split 1. Friday will be Split 3. With John Benry once again, and then Split 2 Saturday night. Myself and Scotty Gamble will be in the booth together for the first time, calling the action out of Split 2 out at Laguna Seca. It's gonna be absolutely massive. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys. Well, if you want to see me again, come and check out SRW here tonight. Or not here tonight. Come and check out SRW Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am tonight. Or if you want to check me out on a different day this week, I'm also live on Tuesday for SRW, Wednesday for SRW, and Friday for SRW. But you should watch Split 3. Split 3 is going to be fantastic. But thanks for joining me once again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys for round number 1 this coming Saturday. Stay safe, stay well, drive hard. Best of luck for season 19. And we'll see you soon.
Introducing the Racecraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed the Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTE-R bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP SideNet to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.